This is the Rugged Revival podcast, the home of the UK's country, Americana and Roots music community. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again to all of our listeners. Now, normally I'm a bit nasty to TJ, so because he's feeling a bit rough today and because he's feeling a bit under the weather, I'm going to be nice to him. So I'm going to say, before we dive into today's funfair, I'm going to give a nice shout out to the heart and voice behind one half of the Rugged Revival. He steers this ship through the turbulent waters. He's got an incredible gift for creating warm, honest, meaningful conversations that feel more like sitting on a front porch with an old friend than a formal interview. Please, can you welcome our very own homegrown host, TJ?
Wow.
Did
I was
you like that?
expecting something at the end of it. Is it still to come? Thank you.
No,
I
that's
do appreciate
it.
it.
I'm done now. I'm going to be sick.
Okay.
So, I have the pleasure to say on today's show, we have an absolute powerhouse of talent, personality and energy. They are making waves in the music industry, and I'm very excited to say Champs of the Sun, an incredible band from Kentucky, are joining us on the show tonight. So, Mark, welcome to the Rugged Revival podcast. Please, can you introduce yourself and tell our listeners how you describe your style of music in one sentence?
Hey, my name is Mark. Cheers. Nice to talk to you guys and nice to talk to everybody over there. Champs of the Sun. Have you ever seen that show, Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah,
No.
that's
Ever heard
fine.
of it? No.
If it's the one I'm
TJ
thinking of,
has.
is that the one with Ryan Reynolds, mate? Am I thinking of something completely different?
He's the one, Rob, he
Delaney.
owns that soccer club or whatever.
That's it.
So anyways, the show, that's where we got our band name from. They're doing this musical called The Nightman Cometh, and Champions of the Sun is the line in there. So just in case you guys were going to ask that. As far as our sound goes, kind of soulful, bluesy, Americana. I don't know. Somebody asked me today, what kind of music do I like? I was like, I like a lot of music. I compare it to movies. I like a lot of movies, just because I like horror movies doesn't mean I don't like comedy movies. So it depends on how shitty the movie is, like if I like it or not.
I've got to say, I think that's the best answer to that question I've had yet. So, Mark, thank you for that.
No problem.
Well done, man.
I'm going to dive into to the first question from me, Mark, if that's all right. And I want to rewind back to your childhood. So, can you tell us, where did you grow up? Where did it all begin? And into your teenage years, if you don't mind sharing that with us.
Stamping Ground, Kentucky. It's just out in the middle of nowhere, and I've grown up in Kentucky, all my life pretty much. I'm the oldest of seven. I'm the oldest, and the youngest is the only daughter, and we're the only two that are actually involved in music. Which, she has a great voice. Her name's Maggie. But mom took me to church. That's where I learned how to sing, and we didn't grow up listening to country or bluegrass or anything. It was very strict household, a lot of Christian music. But somehow, the Beatles made the pass, so we were always listening to the Beatles. And Gloria Estefan. I don't know why it was just those two. But pretty much been here all my life. And just been writing all types of different music. Started out as grunge, and then I was in a country band for a little bit, and then I did some a weird R&B soulful thing. I don't know how to even explain it. And then Champs came up, and it's been a lot of fun. And that's more in my writing, anyways. That's more in my avenue as far as my writing style has ever been. So, and hopefully, it's been 7 years since we released our first EP, and I'm hoping to recapture some of that stuff too. But yeah, pretty much in a nutshell. I mean, I met my wife, something clicked, and then I just started writing like this.
That's brilliant. And do you remember when you realised music was your thing? Like what got you inspired? What got you starting on it, writing and
I was always pretty much. I didn't really start writing music, but I always loved it. I always loved playing it. But this is kind of sound weird. But the first time I went to like a NFL game for the Cincinnati Bengals, like I saw the humongous crowd, and everybody, it was just a huge crowd. Everybody's just going crazy, and I don't know. I got like a lot of adrenaline from that. That was the first time I've ever been around that many people in my life, and then I don't know. I was like, I would love to like be playing in front of people, and them cheering on you, cheering for you, and supporting you in that way. And that's always clicked in my head as like that was the moment I was like, oh, maybe music that could be, because it's definitely not going to be football, So it was one or the other.
That's awesome. Thank you. I just wanted to know really, what's your current situation? What do you do now? Do you have a full-time job? Are you full-time in music? Are you what's your position at the moment?
Oh, we're more part-time music. I have a full-time job. Most of us do. Like our drummer, he teaches at a college here in Kentucky. I mean, we're all over the place. I myself, I've worked for the military full-time. That's where I just got back from, and yeah, I run a logistical thing, but we always find time to make room for music and getting this band together and playing some. And it's hard traveling as a band, at least financially. So and all of us have full-time jobs. But we would like to in the ideal world, and we might start playing a little bit more out of town. But right now we're just kind of keeping it local.
Thank you, Mark. And just on one last question before I hand over to TJ again. I just want to know what you think. What sets you apart from everybody else? What's unique about your sound and your band?
Oh boy, music is so universal. There's so much of it out there. Everybody sets each other self apart from it, I guess. My songwriting, I guess, is what would set us apart from, I guess, any or other bands now. I mean, I get a lot of my inspiration as far as songwriting goes, as from great songwriters like Tyler Childers. I mean, I used to compare us, like I would try and write a little bit like the Alabama Shakes, Brittany Howard and Alabama Shakes, and the whole Champs of the Sun. There's like a space theme in there. It's kind of like a rock opera setup. I have like 2 songs that are set up for it, and I got that kind of like from Rocky Horror Picture Show and Cabaret. Like this, I don't know. There's something in there, and I'm actually working on something like that. But I don't know. I like to think that I don't get stuck in a box. You can only play rock and roll, or you can only play folk music. Where I'm from Kentucky, the only thing I can play is bluegrass.
Well, listening to your music, I've got to say, you've got the whole thing in there. It's just so much good vibes, so much, enthusiasm, so much energy, and it's just, yeah, it's awesome to listen to. And I've got to say, I love your pictures behind you. They are pretty
thank
awesome.
you.
I love them.
Yeah, a lot of it's. Oh yeah, when you got the Beatles up
There you
here.
go. Yeah.
You see that one?
Yeah.
That was a wedding gift. But yeah, a lot of it's. Well, never mind. You're not. Yeah, some of it's like the band posters, things like that. But yeah, it's all my wife decorating, pretty much.
I think we should do some swapsies, Mark. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'll swap you these. You give me them.
Nobody
Thank you
wants
for
that
sharing
cow photo, mate. Nobody.
Hey,
Been trying to
that
get rid of
looks
that for a
cool.
I love
while.
it. Yeah.
That looks cool. Yeah.
Terrible. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, no, Mark, thank you for coming on, mate. Sometimes it feels like we've been talking forever when I set these things up in advance, and I keep a tab on what you guys do, comment on your Instagram and things like that. It's just really interesting to see how things develop. So I appreciate you coming on. I kind of come across Champs of the Sun and you guys when I saw you on Red Barn Radio, because I'm just a huge Red Barn geek, and anyone that appears on that show my ears prick up, and I go hunting for more kind of music on that band. That's where I added you on Instagram, and that's where you sent me that very nice story back. I don't know if you remember, that very first message where you obviously said, thanks for the follow, but you were telling us this super interesting story about your wife's dad being from Yorkshire and how you guys met. So rather than me kind of butcher that story, do you want to kind of tell everyone kind of how that came about, mate?
Well, yeah, he was so he moved from Yorkshire to LA, and he was selling Jaguars in LA to all the like Frank Sinatra and John Travolta and all these people, just rubbing elbows with all these Hollywood stars. And he really liked to party a whole lot, and then he got older, so he had to move to Kentucky, and my wife moved him here because that's where their family, or her mom's side of the family's from, up in Maysville, Kentucky. And I was playing at this bar that she managed, and that's how we met. I mean, she booked me for a while, and they paid us very well, but I never tried to cross the line. I always thought she was beautiful, but they were just paying us way too much for me to like do anything inappropriate. So I always kept it professional. And one day things just happened. So it's been great. We've been together for almost 12 years now. Yeah, I'm doing the math right. If she saw this, she'd be like, why don't she know that?
She'll be testing you, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So her family have English roots. Do any of yours have English roots, mate?
Oh no, we're mutts. I mean, she just had she had two nieces over here from Scotland. Actually, they're from her dad's side. She has a sister, like a half sister over there. So they just spent a week and a half over here and had a great time. And we'll be coming over there probably later in October or September, something like that.
Oh, cool, man.
Later on in the year, yeah.
Whereabouts is she going?
Might have to grab around or something.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. That's the only reason we like to meet up with people, so we can get blind drunk and share stories and perhaps even do a live interview. That's how we kind of mask it as work. It's a live interview. But yeah, you're more than welcome to kind of meet up, mate. That'll be incredible. Whereabouts are you going? In England, Scotland? Whereabouts?
I mean, I think we'll try to go to Yorkshire because I think she has some family over there, and we will spend some time in Scotland, or they're going to come and hang out with us. I mean, wherever. I've never been to Europe, only through like flying over to Africa. We went through France. That was about it.
Yeah, don't tire us with that brush.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we've had a lot of your lot, which shall we say, your lot from Kentucky in England lately, and Wales and the like. So they've been touring. So we've just met up with Josh Mitchum from Webster, I think he is. I'm not sure what that is in relation to you, but he runs the Ramble at the Randall, an incredible kind of event venue in this 100-year-old barn. So he's got the likes of I think Candy Jenkins and the Jenkins twins and J.R. Miller, I believe, this year. I lose track, but he's an awesome dude. And then we had the guys from the other way, still Kentucky, Lance Rogers and Hunter Flynn and Dan Kane. So you're all welcome to come over. You're all such a good laugh. You're all, up for playing some tunes and, sitting with us, which is the great thing, mate. So, that'd be fantastic when you kind of hit the shores, mate. Anyway, I'll stop waffling for a minute and get back to some actual questions. So what's the next one? So yeah, I was talking about your unique sound, as Ronnie was putting it a moment ago, and I found it really interesting for, like you say, from a band from Kentucky, not to be kind of straight up bluegrass or country. Your stuff is a real kind of mesh of glam rock, punk, some of it, country, rock and roll. But as Ronnie said, it's real feel good music, and I like that because for me, music's kind of a theme throughout your day. So the last thing I want to listen to when I wake up is murder ballads or sad songs, as they put it. And I've done that before by mistake, and it just kind of ruins my day. And I just want to drive the car off the road, not to make lots of. But there's songs like yours that kind of really get you pumped for the day, kind of have that soulful kind of sweetness about it, and particularly with the sun coming out in England now. It really kind of sets the tone. So I love that, mate. I love the fact that you've got such a kind of mishmash of genres going on,
Thank you.
which is fantastic. So let's dive. I think it's probably a good segue to dive into all of your music and talk about how that came about and the inspiration behind it. So your self-titled album was in 2020. So talk us through that, Mark, as a kind of starting point.
Yeah. Like I said, I just met my wife. I was flying to California, and then something just kind of pinged, and I just kind of started writing on that flight, just coming up with the whole idea of the launch party song. I don't know if you've heard that one. That was like the whole beginning of this style of songwriting, and it just kind of stuck in that genre that I wanted to be in. I mean, inspiration wise, yeah, my wife's my muse. That's about, and that's what I always say. You can't leave. You can't go anywhere because I'll start writing terribly.
You'd be writing sad songs at that point, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so there was a couple of tracks in between. I don't know if they became before or after. So you've got Broadway and Fifth, and the more country one, which is Bless Your Heart with Abby Hamilton around that time too. So they're interesting tracks. What kind of inspired those ones?
Well, we did the Bless Your Heart thing. It was on the original as more of like a Strokes vibe kind of a song.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, I like to mix things up. Sometimes you can, like I even have a third version in my head of that same song. But I always wanted to work with Abby, so we put that together. Bless Your Heart, it's kind of like a double meaning here in Kentucky or in the South. It can mean a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, oh, bless your heart, like you're real stupid, or bless your heart, you're having a real hard time. It can go either way.
I heard it could be a slight fuck you to whoever you wanted to. I might start using that.
Yeah. And then the Broadway and Fifth is pretty much on the nose there. We used to live right down the road from here at this house, right off of Broadway. And we lived there for 7 years, and we used to have great parties there and hosted lots of friends. And my wife and I had a wedding party there. I mean, we have so many great memories. So that song kind of inspired, or that all of that just inspired that song. And that's one of my favorite ones to perform live, for sure, because we really get the crowd involved and everybody seems to enjoy it. It's one of my favorites.
Fantastic, mate. And then we move on to Spinning in 2021. So what's kind of the theme behind that, apart from Spinning?
I mean, I wrote that. I bumped my head real bad on something. I had vertigo for like 2 weeks, and I was dealing with life at the same time. And so, life doesn't stop just if you're not feeling well or feeling terribly. You could be dying on your deathbed, and it continues
like
to happen.
Now, Mark. Look at him, the poor soul. Bless his heart.
I'm sweating.
There you go.
As we speak. Yeah, it's the only cure. It's the only thing that kind of works for me to get rid of a cold. That's my advice to anyone. I've tried all things this week, Mark, tablets, all of the herbal remedies. Nothing beats, a whiskey to kill the germs. In my opinion, I'm not advocating kind of drinking, but it works for me, mate. Well, yeah, kind of. Legally,
it just depends. Yeah. And if you can taste it, as long as you can taste it, I think it does help.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most bourbon sort of tastes similar, so I remember what it tastes like. It's all good. Anyway, and then we had Lights Out in 23. So you've got a real kind of consistent kind of putting things out. And then we got my personal favorite, which I haven't stopped playing since you released it in February. California. What a song, man. That's it's What is that? What written on one of your trips to where your wife is from?
Yeah, well, no, I swear I'm in the military. I had spent a year at the southern border. We got deployed there, and this was during the COVID times. Everything was shut down. We're in San Diego. I know that sounds like a terrible deployment. Stuck in a hotel right next to the beach. But I was gone, and the whole time I was there, I was just looking for places that reminded me of home. Just which there's good food here, there's great music here, and scenery. And I found so many things that were so cool over there, but I was still just missing home so much. And so it is titled California, but it's basically a love song about Kentucky. Yeah.
It is, mate. It's just one of those. I think it hit at the right time, particularly over here, because it's starting to get warm and sunny, and it's just got those cool vibes. But like last year, I was thinking this year for the Rugged Revival, we are going to do a top 5. Ronnie doesn't know any of this. I'll just make it up as I go along. But top 5 songs for the end of the year, and so far I have 2 songs in that category, and that is California by Champs of the Sun, and
Wow.
Quick Quiet with Jesse Williams Band, and kind of similar vibes because it's very soulful, very sunny, and maybe I'll have some sad songs towards the end of the year as the weather gets shitter. But yeah, definitely California, and I'll prove it as well. I'll prove it with my Spotify plays and my stats and things like that because I think I'm annoying the wife and kids because I've had it on constantly this week since you've been coming on. So they'll learn to love it, mate, as much as I do. But yeah, Ronnie, get thinking, mate. We got 5 songs.
So what you're saying is you've got 5 songs that you want to play. They're all your songs.
They're all my songs. Yeah,
I agree. By the way, but I've got a couple to add in there, so it might have to be a playlist of 10. So
all right, I'll let you have 5 of your own then. But there you go. And then I thought maybe we could do even a Rugged Revivals award. So I know you couldn't send the whiskey over to us because apparently it's contraband, but I think we can send a trophy towards the end of the year to you for winning something, as part of this top 5. It will be absolutely meaningless to you.
What a privilege.
If you change your mind, it's okay. It's so early in the year, top 5 already.
When I'm settled on something, mate, I don't change my mind. But build a shelf behind you. So if you want any more podcasts, people go, oh, what's that award? You'd be like, that's from the Rugged Revival.
I don't know.
That's
the Rugged
right.
Revival keeps sending me a load of rubbish.
Load of shit.
I have to put it on my shelf.
Hey, that stuff can be expensive to make too,
No, we get it from China, mate. It's fine with plastic.
Not them tariffs.
Things have changed. There you go. This isn't a politics show, so we'll move on.
Move on swiftly.
Hey, it could go either way for me. I've already started drinking bourbon at 3 o'clock.
We're a bad influence, Mark. We are bad like that.
Sorry to butt in, but you mentioned one song, The Launch Party. And I've got to say, I don't know if you're going to take it as a compliment, really, or not. But when I looked at the YouTube video of Launch Party, it gave me Bohemian Rhapsody vibes. The film Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's cool.
I was like, I love it. It's like epic. It's nuts. And I love every minute of it. So, I just wanted to
none of
throw
that
in.
sounds bad.
No, it's all good. I love it. I think it's brilliant. So, thank you. Anyway, back to you.
Hey, I hope more people over there watch it than they do over here. So
it's good.
Great.
Well, we've obviously got good taste over here, mate. So there you go. But
you guys are great.
Thank you. Well, we'll get back to the serious question. So you mentioned being in the army. On the last show, we had a guest. Nathan Bess, who was in the fire service over West Virginia way. And one of the serious questions I asked him was that you obviously must work out, you must stay
I
physically
can see
fit.
where this is going, actually.
And Ronnie is about 300 pounds. We worked this out earlier. Could you lift Ronnie? Do you think you could lift him? I'm not saying would you, like pull him out of a fire or help him in a battle scene, but do you think you could physically lift him up? 300 pounds, it's a lot.
This is a good story because I was when I was on the border, I had the first sergeant. Ronnie, you guys are kind of the same build, and I had my hand on the door. I was going to go to bed for the night. I was done, and he said, "Hey, Bell, let's go out." And I was like, "He's my boss." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." I was like, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" I was like, we don't know how it's going to go, and so it got to a point to where I was trying to lift him off the side of the road and into an Uber. I think I got him about halfway, so
Yeah.
A for effort,
Absolutely. I've funny enough, we went to a gig in London recently, and TJ had a few too many lemonades, and he's got the nickname Tiny TJ because he's got tiny little hands, so he can't grab onto handles and he falls upstairs. So anyway, that's my story.
I fell up the stairs.
Oh
yeah,
man,
no doubt.
let's
this is turning into chaos. I don't know what's going on here.
The sun's out here. It's getting dark over there.
It was a good gig. So yeah, that was the last of my professional questions to ask you, Mark. And then I'm going to hand back to Ronnie. I don't know if it was a good way to hand over to.
I have absolutely no idea where I am with my questions because it's all just descended into chaos, which I love actually. So let's just throw them away and we'll start again. No. So Mark. We started a playlist. I got in trouble for asking this question last time because I didn't fill it out. But we started a playlist, and it's exclusive for our podcast guests and artists we meet on the road. So, can you tell me what 2 songs should we add to this that reflects your work, so everybody can check you out?
Oh, reflects my work. Okay, like somebody that I've listened to that might be.
No, you.
Oh,
2
me.
songs of your band.
I thought it was more than that. Okay.
Do you know what? We'll open it up. Why not? We're in chaos.
I'm
so why not?
terrible with names. No, I was like, I can't think of any names right now. I only know how they sound. It's Spinning in California. Those are my 2 favorite releases so far. So I really enjoy people listening to those. Yeah,
absolutely. And I know TJ gets a hump because I keep offering another song out, and I'm going to do it again because I like it, and I'm going to say Launch Party because it's good vibes and it gives everybody them good feelings. So we'll add that as well.
You only get 2.
Why not?
But, I'll write it down, make you feel better.
We'll have 3.
So the song Mutiny, that's like the sequel to Launch Party. That's this whole space opera thing that I'm working on.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I have like 8 songs written. We just haven't recorded them, and that's kind of like. That's my newer, bigger, because we've only been doing singles since we released that EP. I think this is my next project, is just releasing this kind of epic story that I'm coming up with literally as I go,
That's fabulous. I love that. I love it. It's brilliant. I was going to ask you another question about, can you give us any secrets for the Rugged Revival? But you've just told us that you're making it as you're going along, so there are no secrets.
If you get to know me, there are no secrets. It's just
we're all friends now.
Yeah,
we're all friends. There are no secrets.
Yeah, this is secret killer. Yeah.
You've got to be careful how you answer these questions sometimes, Ronnie, because it, not about music, but it could be any secret. So,
secrets.
What dark secrets does Mark Bell have in his
Right, leave that to the end. We'll get him drinking more.
No. Yeah, I forget about it too.
Yeah. So, Mark, what's the best album or single you've listened to in the last 5 years, and what makes it stand out to you?
Oh man, you guys know who Dan Reeder is? He's an older dude. He sings. He does like a harmony, like a 3-4 part harmony on his recordings. He's really his songwriting is very inspiring to me because he just writes about anything. I mean, he has a song about how much why he drinks beer. Look up this song. There's a song called Clean Elvis. He throws in some Elvis lyrics in there. I'd really give it a listen. It's very relaxing, very peaceful. It's a good way to start your day, honestly.
Yeah.
And this will be. I told my wife it's just going to be Dan Reeder playing at my funeral. Like, that's it. Everybody's drinking Miller High Life and they're listening to Dan Reeder.
Brilliant. And you've just, when you said about the Elvis vibes, so I was talking about when I'm 6 foot under, and what I'd have at my funeral, and it would be "Hunk of Burning Love" by Elvis Presley. What a song!
Hunk of Burning Love.
Yeah,
that describes you perfecly.
It does,
but
yeah.
in like a sad version, like a sad way,
No.
like with an orchestra, just straight up.
No. I mean, they did do an edit of the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, didn't they, with Elvis Presley playing on it? And I thought, why not? It brings the vibes. Why not? Anyway, so
no,
are
you
there
guys
any
really
other?
like Elvis over there too.
Yeah.
We like
I
Elvis
do,
here too. Yeah.
Oh, he's
He never got to
huge,
come
yeah.
there.
fact-
He never got to go over there.
I'm going to. No, he didn't, and that was the sad thing about it. If you've,
I did not know that.
have you not watched the film, TJ?
No.
Right, you need to watch the film this weekend because it's epic. It's really good. But yeah, I've got my own views on the Colonel, which I'm not going to voice tonight. But I've actually got a huge oil painting of Elvis Presley on my other wall, which I will actually change one of my photos next time and swap it
that's
round
cool.
so I can put Elvis Presley in the back. So yeah, but I'm big Queen fan, big U fan, big Elvis fan. George Jones, obviously. The hero of country music, I've got to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, this isn't about me. It's about you. So just
It's
on
way more interesting to me.
no, definitely not. So on I want to ask you a question around emerging musicians or bands that you've been following potentially, and would you recommend our listeners to check any of them out?
I mean, I'm just gonna push out all the locals here in Kentucky. These are the people that I follow. You got the Jenkins twins, like you were talking about, Candy Jenkins, Brother Smith. They are super talented. They're also a local band here. Mojo Thunder. I think they probably played in England maybe once or twice. They like to go over to Europe and do a tour. Mojo Thunder. They're very rock and roll, kind of Led Zeppelin-y kind of vibes. I'd definitely check them out.
I've got a name
Too long of a list when it comes to locals, because now I'm like, I don't want to leave anybody out. I did this on the last radio show I was on too.
we say it's not an endorsement. It's just it's hard to say not an endorsement, but it kind of
it's just
is,
a nod, really. Because
just the tip of that.
I think the way I described it last time to Nathan Bess, actually, who was on last, is that we're all one community. You know, we've tried to push that community spirit out, and you know, everybody's just trying to get where they want to be, and where they should be. You know, you've got so much talent. You're an incredible artist and entertainer, and the band. You know, it's whatever we can do to help people out, then we will do. And this is just a nod to anybody that's emerging that you think, do you know what, go and give these people a listen to, go and listen to them and you know, bring them into the circle. So we always try and give everyone the opportunity. So that's why I respond.
That's how it gets out.
Exactly.
People like you guys are heroes because you know, it doesn't get pushed out. Like, local music does not get pushed out to the millions or even thousands. You know, it's guys like you that are supporting local musicians and independent artists that really help us like get our voices out there. And it's very inspiring to me. So I really appreciate you guys.
That's really kind. Thank you. Thanks very much. Well done, TJ.
Well, it's not quite millions, Mark, so don't be disappointed in our reach, but we do our best, mate. We do.
You undersell it all the time. Do you know what? We've got, you know, we're getting there. We're like everybody
It
else.
could
We're
be.
building. Yeah.
It could be millions. You never know.
You
We
never
could
know.
be famous.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right, I've got another question for you, Mark. Now, it's a bit of an odd one. Same as the rest of this interview has got, actually. It's a bit questions all over the place. But I wanted to ask you, if you could have dinner with your younger self, what's one piece of advice you'd give? And what's one question you'd ask?
Oh man, my younger self. That's a big question. for musically, I'm gonna stick with musically. um, I would say don't get hung up on one genre. Listen to more music. Don't just think that new music is terrible, because I was like, it felt like I was an old man listening to music when I was a younger kid. I only listened to Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and Nirvana, nothing in my time, and there were so many good bands at that time. But like I said, it's hard to find them, especially back then. It was really hard to find different kinds of music. You're only listening to what the radio was putting out. And that's aging myself, because no one listens to the radio anymore either. Yeah, just open up and don't be so obtuse, and just explore the world. Just listen and not think that you know everything.
That's really good advice. So I think we could all take note of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And what's one question that you'd ask yourself at that dinner?
Oh man, I don't. Oh, that's weird. What kind of question would I ask myself at that dinner? Like, how dumb are you? Like, I don't know. What are you doing with your life? I don't know. If it's my younger self asking my older self, that could be both. It could go both ways.
Fair play.
Yeah, I don't know.
What a dinner that would be.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I would like myself very much. I think I'd be very annoyed. Yeah, I would be very annoyed. Yeah, both ways. My younger self would be like, "Who is this old man talking to me like this?" It's like Led Zeppelin rocks. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, they do rock. Yeah, I'm just saying, listen to other music.
I could say the same, to be honest. I was like an old man growing up, listening to people like George Jones and Charlie Pride and Elvis Presley. Funny enough.
Hey,
so what's the
man,
matter with you? Everybody's listening to the Spice Girls over in England, and
great list.
all like,
yeah.
nuts. Anyway, so tell us a bit more about yourself. So, what's your favourite thing to do after playing a gig, or after recording, playing a gig, whatever you think?
I mean, playing the shows, it's so much fun because, you got a lot of friends there, especially since we play local. We only do a show here in Lexington maybe once or twice a year. And so usually we'll get a great crowd. It'll be like 200, 250 people. We're always trying to sell it out. We're going to get there eventually, but at least before I die. But I love just seeing all my friends. It's almost like a crazy high. It's weird. And then the next morning, it's like an immediate downward spiral into depression and anxiety, like Sunday scaries. Have you ever heard of Sunday scaries before?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a thing in England. But I just love seeing people. I love talking and drinking with them and chain smoking outside.
That sounds like us, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable, I'll tell you. And just one more. I just wanted to know, is there something that you're passionate about outside of music that people might not expect? Have you got any other hobbies? Have you got anything that you enjoy doing?
Man, I like podcasts a lot. And
I know a very good podcast, actually.
Texas to Tennessee's a good one. Yeah.
Man, when I start to like something, I really dig into it. So like I watched all the Game of Thrones, and then I listened to the audiobooks. Listen to every one of them just so I could learn more about this made up world. It's just like, Lord of the Rings and all that. Fun fact for you guys, I really dig The Crown. That's one of my favorite shows.
Love that show. Yeah.
I've watched it over. You ever have those shows that you just continuously watch, like at least once a year? That's usually my fall, winter time.
So you go back to the beginning.
Oh yeah, all the way through. I really
have you watched Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
That's
love
my go-to.
Schitt's Creek.
That's my go-to all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I watch too much TV, so there you go. That might be interesting. I don't know.
It is. It's good. And then there really is just one more question for me because I'm bombarding you at the moment, and I'm going to hand over to TJ shortly. But I've asked our previous artists that have been on the show, what are your top three goals? And I explain it as it could be 3, 6, 9 months. It could be for the rest of your life. But what are your top three goals that you can share with us?
Just first goal, I mean, just do more work, get in the studio and do that. Not be so hesitant on putting things out, because that's the thing that happens with local musicians. You just kind of get in your head and nothing's perfect. And then the third would just to be play more shows. Well, I guess in the next 6 months, I would love to play in England. I would love to set up a gig over there somehow and play an acoustic set, which would be fun for me because I used to play like a lot of bar scenes by myself, a lot of bar music. I played Queen, a lot of Beatles stuff. I mean, just good bar drinking music, which that was before COVID. Yeah, it was I had a lot of fun with it.
That's exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. So you need to.
Maybe you guys could help me. Maybe you guys could help me with venues. Like I could find a venue. And,
I think. Do you know, you're in the right place because I'm sure TJ and I will be able to hook you up somewhere.
Speak offline, mate. Yeah, we've got some.
I've tried Googling it. You can't just Google where to play.
No, TJ's got some fantastic contacts, and this is, one of the first things is, you've come on. Thank you for taking your time to come on with us. But TJ, this is an opportunity where we can help you as well, and another artist. So yeah. TJ will definitely hook you up. So, yeah.
Now, that wasn't like a thing you have to do. I was just saying that's something I always like to make the most of my trips. So, whenever, I've never been to England before. So I told my wife, like, we got to find a place. I told her nieces over in Scotland, it's like, we got to find a place over there. Like, what are Scottish bands that I should learn their music? Like, I should learn some covers.
Yeah, it's not many very good ones, but stick to England, mate.
I'll take you over to Ireland. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
But just hide a few bottles of bourbon in your suitcase, mate, and we will sort you out. Not that we take bribes, but we will sort you out, dude. Don't worry about that. But there you go. But those questions were quite deep, Ronnie. I'm amazed. That put Mark right on the spot. So I thought I'd dial it back a little bit, and as I do. But nicknames. I was thinking earlier about some of the nicknames because someone was saying to me earlier, why Ronnie and TJ? And I was like, don't really know. They're just stuff that we came up with. It's our on-stage moniker, like a lot of people do. But I remember back in the day when I was younger working, when I first hit the workplace, I had the nickname called Turbo Terry because I was a bit of a lazy bastard and a bit slow, not mentally, but physically, and not very good on the tools. So I kind of transferred from tools to office life. And then I was a bit quiet in the office life when I was a bit younger too. And I used to get called Trev by random people, but never corrected them. So I've got friends that still call me Trev. Yeah. So I just wondered, obviously, being in the army, you must have come across some good nicknames. Have you had any nicknames, Mark, that you can tell us about?
Not in the military that I'd like to talk about, but no. When I used to play in the bar scene, I would always play with this place called Bluegrass Tavern, and I would always play. I would play like Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphys. And Queen, Beatles, all the great drinking songs there, and they had a nickname for me. It was Dickie, and so they would go Dickie, like all the time, and everybody was like, they didn't really understand it because it was just pretty much like an inside joke between us. My middle name's Richard, so I guess that's where they got it from. Nobody else calls me Dickie in my life besides these specific core guys that bartend at this bar.
And now us, when you come over here and we chant Dickie at you, mate. Man.
Yeah, they said I should change, or this one guy, Chris Evans, great bartender. Bill Murray actually came into his bar one time, or a few times actually.
Love that dude.
But yeah, he's always said I should change my name to Dickie Bell and the Ding Dongs. Like he said, how great would that be? And so we'll be I'll be sitting at his bar and there'll be people there, and he'll ask them. He's like, "Wouldn't you listen to a band called Dickie Bell and the Ding Dongs? Wouldn't you like that?" All right, great.
Doesn't sound as cool as Champs of the Sun, I'll be honest with you.
Thank you.
Do not change it anytime soon, Dickie. There you go. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting segue to nothing. Like most of the show,
I can't
really.
wait to hear the Dropkick Murphys, to be honest, because I and a lot of the Irish songs like the Dubliners and the Pogues. So when you come over, you've got to do some renditions of them because I'll be there hollering in the background. So it'll be amazing. It'll be really good.
Screaming, throwing his pants up on stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey,
you don't want that.
I'll dress up as Santa Claus and play some of the Pogues. Yeah.
Yes,
why not?
Hell yeah, man. I'll be there. So fantastic. So we've talked about the UK. That was always one of my questions about, people that we speak to, whether there's any plans or any desire. And, we'll talk after the show about how we can kind of help you. But beyond, helping you in or looking at things in that way, as fans of your music, of your band, and you in general, mate, what can people do to, I suppose beyond the conventional streaming, what kind of works for you? Is it going to gigs? Is it buying merch? Is it streaming music? What kind of do you prefer?
Oh man, always come to the shows. That's what I prefer. Merch. Yeah, I've lost merch. I haven't even sold merch in like 5 years. I put it on a table, but there's no one there to sell it for me. But I don't really care. I kind of have the cynical view about music and the whole music industry in general, but I love it when people come to shows. That's the greatest thing. But for people over there, please listen to the music, I guess. We got a Bandcamp. That might be better than Spotify. I don't know what to tell you. I come to the show that I'm going to play over there in the fall time.
Absolutely, mate. And we will help plug that for you. So in terms of that, is it anything else that you kind of want to plug before I hand over to Ronnie for some closing remarks in his normal fashion? That's what he's saying.
Oh man, I no plugs, but I really enjoy this. Like really, really enjoy chatting with you guys. This has been a whole lot of fun. I told my son about it. He was like, "Oh, that's really." He was really excited about it. My wife was really excited about it. Like it's awesome. Small world, and man. Hopefully, we get to hang out. Have a few pints. What's your favorite beer? I guess there's my plug.
What's yours, Ronnie?
Well, I've got to go to the Irish traditional, which is Guinness, because I love it and I can drink pints and gallons of it. But actually, for my birthday, as a little tipple on the side, for my birthday, TJ got me a nice bottle of Larceny bourbon, which was unbelievable. It's a really good drink. So, what about you, TJ?
Yeah, Larceny's one of my favourite. Anything Buffalo Trace, but if we're talking beer, I've knocked the beer on the head because it was making me massively fat, as I said on DMs, Mark. It's huge.
I think, you said that.
Yeah, man. And I think I've got some weird intolerance. That's what I tell myself anyway. That's my excuse for being fat. But so I drink a lot of cider. We have a lot of good ciders over in England. That's my go-to. A bit of Aspel or one of the posh ones, I think. So we'll share one of those while you're over in.
Get out.
I know, it's not quite
you
manly.
run out of beer, that's what you switch to. That's fine with me, man. I've had a few ciders in my time. It's usually at the end of the night, and I'm like just scrounging for things in the back of the refrigerator
that nobody else wants. Yeah.
No, it's very popular though.
Discarded cigarettes in it, and
oh yeah. I'm just digging. I'm like, where's my last pack of cigs? Yeah, I'm like. It's always wine and cider. That's like, oh boy, it's been a long night. Yeah.
Well, that's my next drink. Before my voice gives out. Cloudy apple cider. This stuff's lovely. As the sun comes out, it's a fruity drink. It's not quite manly, but it'll do me, mate. It'll do me. Finish with a whiskey, so just to man it up slightly. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Is it
cheers.
is it local? Is it local or what is it?
Herefordshire. That's kind of the place where they make all the apples and cider. So yeah, it's a good place to visit. Just on, I don't know, where is Herefordshire? It's near Wales, isn't it?
it's in the county somewhere.
Cheers.
Somewhere nobody cares. It's SAS country, funny enough.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's
We don't talk about that.
that's where our secret people live. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have completely forgotten we're on a podcast, actually. It feels like we're in a back room somewhere just waiting to listen to music in a minute. But TJ, is there anything else that you wanted to add at all?
That's it from me. No, this is why we don't do it live, Mark, and we can just edit all of the nonsense that we speak out.
Oh,
and leave,
yeah,
all
you
your
got to keep
goodness
some
in.
of it. You got to
Oh,
keep some of
absolutely.
it in.
All of it.
We'll
Why
keep
not?
all of it. Yeah, definitely. That's what we'll do. But anyway, back to you, Ronnie, mate.
Mark, it has been chaotic, nuts, epic, fabulous, and you're an incredible person to speak to. And thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us today on the Rugged Revival podcast. So now is the time where we raise a toast. So if you've got a drink with you, if you can raise a toast to the grit, the grind, and the revival. Thanks for everybody for listening. Take care. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.